Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another JI, my only audiobook podcast where I write interesting stories using the help of my amazing friend and artificial intelligence. This story is a little different than the usual ones that are already based on existing franchises. This one is based on a street that I saw called Jamokie Lane, and I thought it was an interesting name, so I wrote a story about it. It's called The Legend of the Jamokie, Shadows of the Ebonwood. Deep within the heart of the Ebonwood, a forest where sunlight seldom dared to venture, whispers of an ancient creature named the Jamokie had long haunted the minds of villagers living on its outskirts. Though few had seen it and lived to tell the tale, those who did spoke of a dark, shadowy beast with spiked fur that shimmered like obsidian under the faint light of the moon. Its glowing eyes pierced the veil of night, and its wings, leathery and bat-like, carried it silently through the treetops. But it was the creature's long, curling tail tipped with a razor-sharp point that truly set it apart, a weapon as fearsome as the Jamokie's malevolent presence. For centuries, the Jamokie had been both a guardian and a tormentor of the Ebonwood. It was said to protect the ancient forest from outsiders, ensuring its secrets remained hidden from those who sought to exploit its bountiful resources. Yet, for the villagers, this protection came at a steep price. Crops would wither, livestock would vanish, and those who ventured too close to the forest's edge often never returned. Chapter 2. The Stranger's Arrival. One fateful evening, as a blood-red moon rose over the horizon, a stranger arrived in the village of Dark Hollow. Clad in a tattered cloak and wielding a staff adorned with strange symbols, the figure introduced herself as Elira, a wanderer and scholar of the arcane. "I've come seeking the Jamokie," she declared to the gathering villagers at the town square. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed a deep urgency. "The balance of this land is tipping. The creature you fear may be the key to its salvation." The villagers were skeptical. They had spent their lives avoiding the Jamokie, passing down tales of its terror from generation to generation. To them, Elira's mission was folly. However, an elder man named Tharic stepped forward. His voice, cracked with age but resolute, silenced the murmurs. "If you wish to face the Jamokie, you will need more than courage," Tharic said. "You must understand its true nature." Chapter 3. The Jamokie's Origins. Tharic led Elira to his home, where he recounted the ancient lore of the Ebonwood. Long ago, before the forest was a place of shadow, it thrived under the care of a guardian spirit known as the Jamokie, a creature of light and harmony. The Jamokie ensured balance, allowing life to flourish. But balance is a fragile thing. As neighboring kingdoms grew greedy, they sought to claim the forest's enchanted wood and rare herbs for themselves. Wars were waged, and the forest's serenity was shattered. In its desperation, the Jamokie sacrificed its essence, transforming it into the Jamokie, a being of darkness and fury. In this new form, it repelled invaders and safeguarded the forest, but at a great cost. The once benevolent guardian had become a creature bound by vengeance, its light buried deep within. Elira listened intently, her mind racing. "If the Jamokie's light still exists, it might be possible to restore the balance," she said. "But I'll need to venture into the heart of the Ebonwood." Tharic hesitated. "Few who enter into the forest depths ever return," he warned. "But if anyone can navigate its perils, it is you." Chapter 4. Into the Ebonwood. Armed with Tharic's guidance and her own arcane knowledge, Elira set out at dawn. The forest loomed before her, its twisted trees forming a labyrinth of shadows. The air was thick, and the scent of moss and decay and an eerie silence hung over the land, broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. As she ventured deeper, Elira encountered the forest's many defenses: thorny vines that moved as if alive, pools of water that reflected false skies, and phantom whispers designed to lead intruders astray. But she pressed on, her staff glowing faintly with protective runes. Hours turned into days, and the forest grew darker still. Finally, she reached a clearing bathed in the dim light of the blood moon. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, etched with the same symbols that adorned her staff. It was here, Elira knew, that the Jamokie would appear. Chapter 5. The Encounter. A chilling wind swept through the clearing as a low growl echoed from the shadows. The Jamokie emerged, its eyes burning like twin embers. Its spiked fur bristled and its wings spread wide, casting an impossible silhouette. The creature circled Elira, its long tail coiling and uncoiling with predatory grace. Elira stood her ground, raising her staff. "Jamokie," she called out, her voice steady. "I seek not to harm you, but to free you from your torment. The forest suffers, and so do you. Let us restore what was lost." The Jamokie snarled, its eyes narrowing. For a moment, it seemed ready to strike, but then it paused, as if considering her words. Elira took this as a sign and began to chant, her staff glowing brighter with each verse. The symbols on the altar responded, pulsating with a soft, golden light. But the forest was not willing to let go of its dark guardian so easily. The ground trembled, and shadowy tendrils rose from the earth, lashing out at Elira. The Jamokie roared, leaping between her and the tendrils. Though it had been a creature of vengeance for centuries, a spark of its former self remained, a guardian's instinct to protect. Chapter 6. The Trial of Light and Shadow. The battle that followed was fierce. Elira focused on maintaining the ritual, her voice unwavering as she chanted. The Jamokie fought with unmatched ferocity, its claws and tail slicing through the tendrils. But the shadows were relentless, seeking to reclaim their champion. As the final verse of the ritual echoed through the clearing, Elira raised her staff. A beam of light shot forth, striking the Jamokie. The creature howled, its body enveloped in a cocoon of light and shadow. The forest seemed to hold its breath. When the light faded, the Jamokie was transformed. Its dark, spiky fur had softened, now shimmering with a silvery hue. Its eyes, once burning with rage, now gleamed with a calm, golden light. The creature had become the Jamokie once more, a beacon of balance and harmony. Chapter 7. A New Dawn. With the Jamokie's transformation, the Ebonwood began to change. The twisted trees straightened, their leaves regaining the vibrant green hue. The oppressive shadows lifted, allowing sunlight to filter through the canopy. The once cursed forest was reborn. Elira returned to Dark Hollow, where the villagers greeted her with awe and gratitude. Though they had feared the Jamokie for generations, they now understood its true purpose. Under the Jamokie's watchful gaze, the village and forest began to thrive in harmony. As for Elira, she chose to remain in Dark Hollow, chronicling the events of the Ebonwood and studying its renewed magic. The legend of the Jamokie lived on, a tale of sacrifice, redemption, and the enduring power of balance. And so, the Ebonwood flourished once more, a testament to the courage of those who dared to face the darkness and the light within. The end. And there we have it for the legend of the Jamokie, Shadows of the Ebonwood. What'd you guys think? Kind of a lot of tongue twisters in that one for me. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.